Hello, my name is Elizabeth Horwin and I appreciate you watching this video. By way of introduction, I'm a licensed professional counselor providing cognitive behavioral counseling to my clients in my private practice. In addition to that, I'm a corporate consultant and trainer working with large employers, setting up disability programs and employee assistance programs as a subcontractor, to their organizations. Having said that, what I really am is a student of human behavior. I have studied human behavior my entire life, and I've looked at the things that motivate people, the things that cause them to get stuck, the things that cause some to follow their passion and some not to, the responses, the reactions, everything associated, with the components of what we call human behavior. And what I learned is the most important driver of human behavior is a person's belief system. The belief system will determine the behavior, and the behavior determines the feelings and emotions. Learned this, I've watched this, and I've worked with my clients using that particular model and staying with that model of examining their beliefs. What I've also learned is, in my opinion, the most debilitating emotion is fear. And it seems to be a universal fear of loss that we experience as human beings, a human condition, and even more so in our Western culture. Loss, fear of loss, right? And most specifically, the fear of loss through death of a loved one. In order to be able to teach what I have learned, I started a book 3 years ago called Passage of Spirit, Why Do We Fear Death? And I'm in the process of completing that book now. The reason for the book is to help people deal with their fear of death, the dying process, to teach them strategies on how to cope and remain resilient through that entire process. Now, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross was my hero in really using the strategies of the grieving process, the stages of loss, through the years and working with my employees, with my clients. What I had to do, and what universal intelligence had happened, is I needed my own experience of dealing with death, the death of people I very much loved, in order to be able to, I guess the word is to validate what I knew theoretically. This started 25 years ago when my father had passed away, and that was sudden and an unexpected death. And then my son, and then my husband. My son, my only son, my only child. In all three cases, it was sudden and unexpected death. I've healed from those situations. I've healed from those losses. And I thought, as I put this all together and the book was coming to a conclusion, I thought that that was a sufficient service, that would really help people get through the death and dying process. And I found out that I was wrong. And why I was wrong is, all of a sudden, I lost all interest in the book. The passion for it left, and it kind of just sat around, for the next 2 years. In those 2 years, what happened was I had another experience of the dying process, the death and dying process. And that was that I also had to experience the death of people in the dying process, not just sudden death. One was my dear friend's son, who died, through pancreatic cancer. Another was my mother. I had to learn about hospice, and I had to learn about the process more, not just the after effects of death. And now that's all incorporated in the book also. So let me conclude with this. This manuscript was written with respect to all religions, all cultures, and all belief systems. It is my hope that by the insight provided about death, about life, energy frequencies, how to examine one's belief system and how to alter and change those belief systems, it is my hope that this will help people deal with death and the dying process, and most importantly, know that there is no such thing as death. All it is passage of spirit. Thank you.